In this insane Geometry Dash challenge, I have to somehow slay 20 demons, beat 20 map packs, and reach 1000 stars, all without dying a single time.
No!
In a game where deaths are extremely frequent, how could I possibly do such an impossible challenge? After all, in most of my runs, I couldn't even get to 30 stars.
No, what? Wait, I clicked there. Aww.
To truly get far, I would have to plan a real route. I would decide to target demons first. It makes no sense for me to waste time going through a ton of Rob Top levels just to be defeated 30 levels in by a bug, which is what happened last video. Now, doing 20 demons in a row was not going to be easy, and 99% of my deaths would take place in these early levels. In the beginning, the first level I usually played was Death Moon, but I had to change this quickly. It felt awful to die and then have to play a 3-minute level with inconsistencies over and over again. So I just decided to play X. It has some difficult parts, especially in the last 10%, but it's still doable in under 2 minutes, so it's good in my book. Then there's Decode. I found this mildly interesting gravity ball skip to make the level even easier than before. After was Doorway Difficult 4, and surprisingly I never died to the blue pad glitch. Guess I'm at least slightly lucky this video, right? Well, after slaying these 3 demons, I would target the demon packs. All of these levels look very simple on the surface, but I can assure you, looks are deceiving. It takes maybe a few, 1,000 attempts to start to begin to understand all the inconsistencies that are embedded in these levels. For example, here's Beautiful Chaos. It used to require this unintended path to even get past the first icon part without dying. At least the glitch was patched out, but wait, there's more. See this ball part? Simple, you just gotta press the yellow orb and then the blue orb, which is what I would say if we were in 2014. These days, 25% of the time you go through the normal route, you just won't enter the big portal and simply explode. But if you go through the unintended route by precisely clicking this yellow orb, ta-da! You enter the portal from below and turn big every time. There's also these annoying orb sections where you better buffer literally everything unless you want to start playing dumb ways to die. In the last video, I was too afraid to enter Darnock Sky Realm, but this time, I would press play. I was able to make this level very consistent by buffering pretty much everything and also memorizing any fakes that were lying in plain sight. 6th level is Demon Jumper. You better buffer this jump or you will die every time. Also, the physics surrounding these pads are weird, so make sure you don't jump early. The second half of this level is pretty much either a 5-star or automatic. Why not just end the level right here? Did the creator want to show off their skill in spamming saws? I guess so. Demon Park is actually pretty fun after you pass this terrible jump. For the most part, the half spikes and blocks tell you where to go. Fun fact, most of this level is actually able to be done in 2 ways. One is the way 99.9% of people, including me, like to do it, and 2 is the way that masochists like to do it. This route is way harder than the normal one. While I still had to be on my guard, most of the next demons I would complete didn't have any tricks, just timings. Extreme Fantasy has a difficult ball part and some memory at the end. Y-Step is a walk in the park. Remix Pack 4 can be tough at times, but with enough practice it becomes consistent. Next is Demon Mixed, a level which I would say is extremely easy, but Augie decided to include that awful jump from Demon Park. I entered Starpunk, one of the very few levels in this video that is appealing to look at. Extremely refreshing despite the near deaths. Next is Platinum Adventure, the level that hardly uses platinum after the first part. Then there's Invisible Club Step. Why not try the original? Well, I guess I'm just not good enough to unlock it yet. I need the 10 secret coins. After navigating Speed Racer, I slayed Crescendo and the Lightning Road. Entering the Nightmare, I was keenly aware of every single spike and challenge that Jax sent at me. If I died here, the title may become reality and haunt all of my future dreams. Like that one time when I was 4 years old and I dreamt of being in front of a desert wall on a train track. I got run over by a train in that nightmare. Normal 4-year-old stuff. Anyways, yeah, this level is too easy for me to throw the run here. I completed it, and this means one thing. I would finally become the first ever Geometry Dash player to beat 20 demons in a row without dying once. It's a miracle that I've gotten this far and all, but we're only 20% through the challenge. I ventured to the Shadow Gauntlet. Now, gauntlet levels are far more valuable than other levels. You can beat this level once inside of the gauntlet and another time outside of the gauntlet, and both times give you star rewards. It's like buy one get one free, but the free is at least a slight chance of death. Yeah, we're shopping at MatMart this time around, not that other store that you guys might know of. I vanquished the first 3 levels in the Shadow Gauntlet twice in a row, but then I saw that the Fear Zone awaited me. I froze. Completely. While practicing for this challenge, I had completed the fear zone several times, but there were a few times where some questionable deaths took place. I wondered if I could possibly rely on myself to get through this level twice in one piece. I had a sudden change of plans and I diverged from the planned route. I left the Shadow Gauntlet and had a departure to the Fire Gauntlet where I would take a journey into outer space. Now, don't get me wrong, I know these levels somewhat, but I was venturing into unknown territory. It's equivalent to not studying for an important test, except failing means losing everything. Your hopes, your dreams, and your only life. Me not knowing anything would almost prove fatal. After slaying this boss once, I would defeat it a second time. Sorry, Spike Guy, nothing personal, it's just business. At this point, I was losing confidence in myself and my ability to stay alive in this challenge, so I started viewing a replay of every level before I played it. Yes, even the 4 stars. I survived both encounters in the bootleg Infernal arena where I would then return to a familiar territory. I hadn't played any Insanes up to this point, but Rob Top levels are generally pretty easy and they gave me a great return on stars. So while I dodged the demons, I would still try to beat Finger Dash. Every Rob Top level has 3 secret coins, and at this point in the run, even thinking about nabbing these coins would be a foolish decision for sure. Well, I guess I'm running a fool's errand. Never has getting this first coin in Finger Dash felt so stressful. The second coin is pretty hard, gotta dodge through all these rotate bars, but despite that I got out of the burning castle. Now for the hardest coin in this level. I wasn't even trying to get this coin at first as I knew it could lead to hours of progress being destroyed, but despite that my subconscious greed took over. They say greed is one of the 7 deadly sins, and if there is one fate I would never want to wish upon my still default icon, it would definitely be death. A death after 80% in this level would be fitting for me, but despite that, I would actually get all the mini coins, the 3rd coin, and dash through the rest of the level. Now aside from the other Rob Top demons, I would also skip Geometrical Dominator because I had this nagging feeling that I'd forget what to do in this memory part. I'd also skip Electrodynamics and Hexagon Force for, obvious reasons. I would also conquer Blast Processing, where I put both of my waves on the line just to get this first coin. For the most part, I stopped risking coin captures in Electroman Adventure's theory of everything in Clutterfunk. I decided to leave the first 10 Rob Top levels for later when I would be in desperate need of more stars. I had completed a mere 1 out of the 3 goals, so I needed to go for some map pack levels now. I only had to complete 6 more packs as earlier on I had beaten 4 different demon packs. I entered the Blade pack where seemingly death itself awaited me. I was more stressed playing Cataclysm than when I died 71% of the way through Cataclysm. Regardless of this, my expertise of Cataclysm made me somewhat immune to the memory, monster mouths, maneuvers, and timings of Cataclysm. After was Haunting, a somewhat misleading level. You better not get too close to these dead bushes. They grab you and bad things happen. This portal was quite the meanie. I was sent off, hopefully spiraling into an abyss of darkness. When all hope seemed lost, I was absorbed by the completion wall with 5 more stars and a cube that has endured several lifetimes worth of near-death experiences. I survived the soul refraction, got a few extra stars, and this ship. The GD gods were right. Failure is no longer an option. Now, I thought Iceland was somewhat peaceful, but seeing all these individual structures trying to attack me and nearly succeeding, well, may have changed my mind a little bit. This is a stage mix, nothing I haven't seen before, but I have to check a video to make sure I'm playing the right one because there's multiple stage mixes hidden amongst the map packs. They all have slightly different gameplay setups. I would go on to beat Polargeist V2, and when I made my way to the Phoenix pack, I would also beat Polargeist X. Hope I don't encounter another Poltergeist remake. I'm not redoing that line. Surprisingly, up to this point in the hardcore run, I hadn't dealt with many real triple spikes. Standard Madness fixed that problem. Thank you, Neptune. Stereo Electro V3 was shockingly easy. It's the hardcore challenge though, I can't let my guard down, even for such a free completion. I entered the Morph pack. The best way to describe the levels in this pack is if you're at a party and then someone dares you to blend a ton of the worst foods imaginable. Stage of Madness is the product of that blender, with a small amount of poison. There's this one trap at the end which if I hadn't studied would have made for quite the unceremonious death. After this was another stage mix. Just an opinion, but I think RobTop could have been a little more creative when choosing what to put in the map packs, but hey, good enough for me. It just meant that this completion was easy. Anyway, the final level of the Morph pack would be Reverse Polargeist. Another remake of everyone's favorite level. Now, this thing is pretty similar looking to the original, but some obvious things have changed. This is not the Polargeist that you and I know. I set forth into reverse Polargeist, not knowing when my now high score of 417 stars was doomed to end. And then my world record cube would...
No. Oh my god, out of all times. It's fine, we can reset. There's always another chance for us to win.
One single jump, one single timing, and one single spike is all you need to lose the hardcore run. However, I was filled with hope. I had more than doubled my original performance. Join me on MatMart Live, where I will be streaming my next runs, and who knows, maybe one day the impossible will become possible. Subscribe for more, and see ya!